Closer and closer to the end we go. We are so close to being done with Season 5 of SpongeBob. Now, I know that's not the worst season in the series. No, that's Season 7. You'll hear all about that in another year. But this season's just been a slog to get through, to be entirely, completely transparent and honest with you. This season has been a total slog. Sure, it wasn't all bad, but there was so much mediocrity in this season. To the point where it's just average, it's meh. And considering how highly I rated Season 4, which was a great season in my opinion, that's inexcusable. But it's the beginning of the end for SpongeBob. And then he'll get revived in Seasons 8 and 9. But we'll get there when we get there. Point is, this has been rough, but being able to share all my thoughts with you guys has definitely helped make it a little bit better. And there have been a handful of good episodes in this season. So, yeah. It's not an entirely worthless season, but it is definitely a step in the wrong direction off a cliff. So with all that said, this is going to be the last good double feature and the last good episodes we're looking at for this marathon, because the final 3 episodes we have to review for these next 2 days are brutal. Yes, only one of them is bad, but the other ones are just painfully average snoozers. So let's try to make the best out of this one last good spurt from Season 5. What's up, what's happening, what's going on, buddy? Welcome back to Anime Station. I'm searching for anything information, including a sponge lives in a pineapple under the sea, as well as TV and movies. I am your host, Jackson Small. Welcome to today's episode reviews, Goo Goo Gas and Two Faces of Squidward. One has baby humor, and the other is most well known for creating one of the most hilarious immortal memes in SpongeBob history. Yep, there's a good bit to talk about today, and both these episodes are good, so yes, you will be getting rankings at the end. Alright, with all that said and done, let's jump into our first episode of the day, Goo Goo Gas. I'm not entirely sure if what I'm about to say is a little controversial, but it's the truth. Because this is one of the best episodes of the season by a mile. One of the best Plankton fails plots, and a legitimately just all-around really great episode of SpongeBob. It's far from the best of the season. No, but I mean, it still belongs up there in a part of the best of the season. I still think the best episode of the season is probably Friend or Foe, but that's beyond my point. What I'm trying to say here is that Goo Goo Gas, in my opinion, is a fantastic episode. Which is weird, because when you first look at it, you're like, oh no, it's going to involve babies, and we're going to get baby humor, and farts, and poop, and a bunch of other juvenile, delinquent garbage, but no, they actually managed to make this into something legitimately funny and entertaining. So, there's a good bit to talk about with this episode. So, let's start with the plot. In this episode, Plankton tries to steal the Krabby Patty formula again, but he comes up with the idea of turning Mr. Krabs into a baby. And it does succeed, but then, obviously since Krabs is a baby, it ends up failing, so. Then he tries a second time, creates senior citizen gas, which, okay, that part got me really good, especially old SpongeBob. I remember when a quarter used to cost a nickel. Like, it has no business being that funny. And then the third time, when there's everyone of the Krusty Krab, then Plankton perfects his gas, turns everyone to babies. And he's the only adult in the place, but everyone else is a baby. So you can only imagine how this goes. The babies end up, well, torturing him. Torturing him, pretty much. But it's done in a way where it's funny and not, like, cringe. I mean, yeah, you do have some, juvenile humor, but a lot of it's actually pretty funny. Like I said, the old citizen gas with old man SpongeBob, that has no business being that funny. Oh, and one of the best dark jokes in the entire season. What was that, Sonny? It'll take longer to explain than you have left. Like, what a clever but very dark joke. Like, it shouldn't be funny, but it is so very funny. And then the resolution is great, and the way that he causes his own failure is just perfect. I only have one highlight for this episode, and it's the handcuffs bit. And it's not that all the other moments are bad or not worthy of highlighting, no. But it's because it's the one part of this episode outside of Old Man SpongeBob that I actually remember. Because as great as this episode is, unfortunately it kind of falls into the forgettable category. Because every now and then I'll be like, oh yeah, that episode, what the heck was its name again? It's funny, it's great, and I love it, but I don't remember its name. This is that kind of case, where it's a great episode, and I really enjoy it, but for some reason I just always forget what season it comes from and what the name of the episode is. But yeah, final verdict for this episode's a 9. I don't care if it's controversial giving it that high of a final verdict. I love this episode. I've always enjoyed this one, and props to the SpongeBob writing team for taking a really bad idea and turning it into a complete win. Alright, let's tone it down a little bit, because we gotta go from great to good. Let's talk about the two faces of Squidward, and that infamous meme that you have all been waiting for me to talk about probably this entire month. Let's do this together, shall we? Okay, so we're all more than well aware of why this episode is either famous/infamous. It's because it spawned one of the most immortal, controversial, but funniest memes that has ever come out of this show. And keep in mind, this is not pre-movie, this is post-movie SpongeBob where this meme comes from. But here's the question. Is the meme the only good part of the episode? Well, in my opinion, no. I actually think this episode's pretty good overall. It's just that everyone knows the meme is the biggest reason why, it's the biggest reason why they remember it. So, let's dive in, shall we? In this episode, SpongeBob smashes Squidward's face into the door of the Krusty Krab over and over, and it ends up turning him handsome. And at first he really likes it because he's getting all this attention, but then the attention becomes too much and he wants SpongeBob to get rid of it. But then SpongeBob does the opposite on accident, and then the episode just kind of ends. Yeah, it's a weird cutoff point, but let's get to the highlight you want me to talk about. The meme that makes this entire episode either famous or infamous. That is Handsome Squidward. Why this became a meme, I don't know. Is the imagery and the contrast funny? Yes, it is very funny. But I don't understand why it became a meme. Like, maybe it's just me. Maybe I haven't watched this episode enough to understand it, but I just don't get why this one became a meme. Out of all the of all the images in season 5, this is the one that became a meme. If anyone knows the context, please let me know in the comments, because I am a bit of a loss here. But the rest of the episode is pretty good. I mean, definitely Handsome Squidward's the highlight. He's only there for a few seconds, and his graceful little swan dive face planting into the Krusty Krab hole is hilarious. But again, I just don't get why this became a meme outside of the visuals. I don't know, maybe it's just me. But the rest of the episode's pretty good. I do like how it tries to do the thing that Sponge Who Could Fly kind of failed at, where it talked about the costs of fame and how it's not all it's cracked up to be. Which, it's still a really nice message, even if it is a little overdone at this point. And there are some pretty good jokes in the episode, outside of just Handsome Squidward. But, yeah, it's one of Squidward's better episodes. It's it's entertaining, it's enjoyable, it's fun, but the meme's really the only reason anyone remembers it. And don't say that I'm wrong, because you know I'm not. I think the internet can attest to that statement. So, with all that said, what's my final verdict for the episode? It's a 7. It's a 7 out of 10. Not only because I don't quite get why Handsome Squidward became a meme, but also because of SpongeBob himself. SpongeBob in this episode is very annoying. Like, not funny annoying, just annoying. he's not yes, he's not crying the entire episode, which, yes, thank you for saving my eardrums, but I mean, outside of that, what does he really have in this episode, outside of causing Squidward to be handsome? Well, a bunch of stupid jokes that apparently the writers just can't stop repeating. But outside of that, it's still a pretty good episode. I do enjoy it. I just don't quite get the meme. I'm pretty sure if you're one of the people that does get the meme, you might enjoy this episode more than me. As it is for me, it's a really good episode of SpongeBob, but it's not one I'll actively revisit. Okay, final thoughts and rankings. Let's get them done. So, it's not the best double feature we've had this entire month. We've had better. But, at the same time, it's far from the worst one. That one where we had to review 2 trash episodes back-to-back, 2 zeros. Woof, that was rough. But, thankfully, this one's a pretty good double feature, because both of them are good to great episodes, and while I don't actively revisit these 2 very much, I do think they're good episodes that are worth watching. So coming in second place, it's not in shame, it's just by score, is The Two Faces of Squidward. It is a pretty good, entertaining episode, but SpongeBob being annoying and the weird cutoff point at the very end of the episode kind of dumbs it down a little bit. But mainly just SpongeBob being unbelievably agitating. And then that means a number 1 spot goes to Goo Goo Gas by 2 points. It is a great episode, and unfortunately just kind of lacks in rewatch value, which is why I can't give it a 10. But it is very clever, it's very funny, and it's definitely one of the better Plankton Tries to Steal the Krabby Patty Formula episodes. So yeah, that's the last good double feature we have to talk about, because these final 2 days, oh boy, we have to talk about 2 average snoozers and 1 abysmal piece of crap. So, yeah, we're not ending on the best note this month, but it's okay. It's okay. Sometimes you just don't always get what you want, right? That's just life. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more videos like this almost every single day. And I'll see you next time when we talk about 1 episode. And it's not special, but since apparently for some weird reason this season has an odd number of episodes, even taking the specials as their own reviews, it still left me with 3 episodes in total. So that means that in order to kind of make this work, I would either have to review all 3 of them in one go, or just review 1 separately and do the final 2 the next day. And since none of these episodes are good, I did not want to do 3 at once. That would have been bad. So, here's how we're going to do it. Tomorrow, you're going to get a review of 1 single episode, probably one of the shortest reviews you will ever see from me in this entire channel. And then we'll finish off with 1 final double feature. Sound good? Good. Not to mention the 1 episode by itself that I have chosen to review by itself is one of the most bizarre, strange, and undescribably odd episodes of SpongeBob that I've ever seen. It is very disliked by a lot of people, mainly because they just found it a mind screw. And I can kind of understand that. But there's still a decent bit to talk about with it, so it's going to be a very short review tomorrow, like no final thoughts and rankings or whatever, but it should be at least interesting. So, I'll see you guys tomorrow when we talk about Spongehenge. Peace. We cannot take it anymore. The time has come to go. Prepare to fight, we're ready for this. I really hope that I'm ready for this.